I dedicate this video to you home baristas because many of you are struggling to make good espressos at home. This simple coffee educational video is for you because I'm going to be teaching you 6 barista tips that will help you master how you can make a perfect shot of espresso like a professional barista. These 6 tips will help you fix the common challenges like a fast extraction of your shot of espresso, a very slow extraction of your shot of espresso, and channeling of your shot of espresso. These challenges are the reasons why your espressos will taste bitter, burnt, with a high acidic, watery, weak, with unbalanced flavors. For you to be able to master how you can make a good shot of espresso, you need to know these 6 tips that I'm going to be talking about in this video, because this is the knowledge that I've gathered for the 8 years that I have worked as a barista, aiming that by the end of this video, you should be able to make a good shot of espresso which is well balanced with the right flavors, and you can be able to transform that shot of espresso to make other different coffee drinks. For this video, I'm going to be using this Sage Barista Express Impress. This is a simple espresso machine that you can use as a home barista and be able to make cafe quality coffee at home. But the knowledge I'm sharing for this video, you can use it on any other espresso machine and make a good tasting shot of espresso and even lattes, cappuccinos, and a flat white. Starting with tip number 1, which is using the right coffee beans. If you're using old, pre-grinded, and still coffees, those coffees have lost their flavors and you won't be able to make a good shot of espresso. A very important factor that you need to consider when buying your coffee beans is to check for the roast date. Make sure your coffee beans have rested 14 days from the days they were roasted. And when you open up your coffee bag and add the coffee beans into your coffee bean hopper, make sure the remaining coffee beans that are left in the bag, you keep them tight, sealed with the lock on the coffee bag. If not, you can use an airtight coffee container that will help you keep your coffee fresh for a much longer period of time. Make sure also not to keep your coffee beans above 4 months from the time you have bought them, because by 4 months those coffee beans have significantly lost a lot of flavors. And one other personal preference that I look for when I'm buying coffee beans is to buy Arabica coffee beans, which are medium roasted. If I'm aiming for a chocolatey and nutty, I'll go for the American coffees. And if I'm looking for a fruity and a floral coffee, I'll aim for the African coffees. These are some of the tips that you will use next time when you go to buy your coffee beans. After having our coffee beans ready, the second tip is going to be the water. Not every type of water is meant to make a good shot of espresso. I highly advise you, please and please stay away from tap water, because it has too much chlorine inside, which will create bitterness, and even some of the tap waters, the pipes are rusted. So you're going to end up with a metallic taste in your shot of espresso. Ideal water for coffee should have a pH of 6 to 8 and a TDS of 90 to 150. This filtered water will ensure that you extract the right flavors into your shot of espresso. After this, you need to turn on your espresso machine. Wait for the espresso machine to heat up the water until the water has reached the ideal temperature for extracting your shot of espresso. The ideal temperature that I would recommend if you're using a medium roasted coffee, it should be around 90 to 93. And here comes tip number 3, which is grind size. Grind size is a very important tip. I can emphasize this. If you master grind size, you'll be able to fix 80% problems with your shot of espresso. And it's very simple. Grind size means the size of the particles. For us to extract a shot of espresso, you need to grind your coffee into smaller particles. For a shot of espresso, you're going to be using a fine grind size, which means the small particles of your coffee. If you check on your coffee grinder, just here, on this coffee grinder dial, you will see it's indicated with numbers. So the smaller the number, the smaller the particle. The bigger the number, the bigger the particle. If you're extracting your shot of espresso, it's flowing very fast. This means you're using big particles. There is no resistance. Water is only going through your coffee, and that's why it's flowing very fast. And if your espresso is taking a very long time to come out, this means your particles are very small. So they are creating a lot of resistance. Water is not being able to extract the ideal flavors into your cup of coffee. This is why you're going to use grind size to fix these two different common challenges. An under-extracted shot of espresso, which means the espresso is flowing very fast, and an over-extracted shot of espresso, which means the espresso is extracting very slow. These two different extraction will result into a bitter, sour, high acidic espresso. And I will be explaining this later on in this video, while we are going to be putting all these tips together to make our shot of espresso. And here comes tip number 4, which is going to be the amount of coffee that we need to extract our shot of espresso. If you use less amount of coffee inside the pot filter, you're going to end up with a very fast extraction of your shot of espresso. And if you put in too much coffee into the pot filter, it's going to be very hard for you to insert this pot filter in the group head. And also when you're extracting, the water is not going to easily go through that coffee to make for you a good shot of espresso. For you to know how much amount of coffee that you need to make your shot of espresso, you're going to be checking the basket. The size of the pot filter basket is what is going to determine how much coffee that you can add in it. For this basic home espresso machine, the basket is 18 grams. You're going to need to grind 18 grams into this basket. This is the capacity of the basket. But also, let me give you a bonus tip. You can increase by 1 gram and also reduce by 1 gram. For this 18 basket, you can use 19 grams or 17 grams. But I would recommend, if it's your first time, keep 18 until you master your routine of espresso. That's when you can increase or reduce on the amount of coffee. Thank me later. After knowing how much amount of coffee that we are going to be adding into this pot filter, now we need one key coffee tool, which is a coffee weighing scale, so that you can measure and have the exact measurements. It's very important for you to have something mechanical that you can use each and every day. This is what helps baristas make the same cup of coffee year throughout, because they have the same things that they do each and every day. For you to measure how much coffee grinds you're going to use to extract your shot of espresso, it will help you replicate the same shot of espresso each and every time. I start by weighing my pot filter, and then I'm going to be grinding my coffee. This Sage Barista Express Impress is really an amazing espresso machine. It comes with an automatic tamper, which I've tested for the past few days, and the results were amazing. When you have this espresso machine, you don't need the distribution tool and the tamper. It does all the work for you. Our coffee is done grinding. I'll just pull down this lever to tamp, and it will show you here that we are in our ideal range. So you can see, even with this coffee inside this pot filter, how it's clean tamped. But I'm going to wait to ensure I'm having 18 grams. Exactly, I'm having 18 grams that I've grinded from this coffee grinder. And this is going to lead us to tip number 5, which is going to be the espresso brew ratio. The espresso brew ratio means how much water that I need to add in this 18 grams of coffee. And the most basic brew ratio for espresso is 1:2. So if I'm using 18 grams, I'll multiply it by 2 to get 36 as our yield out for our shot of espresso. if you don't measure and follow a good brew ratio, you're going to end up guessing when you're making your shot of espresso, and this is what is going to cause the inconsistency in taste, because sometimes you'll extract more, sometimes you'll extract less, and if you extract more, that shot of espresso is going to taste weak and watery because you're adding in more water. And if you cut the espresso very short with less amount of water, it's going to taste very strong and intense. A brew ratio of 1:2 is what has been tested by the Specialty Coffee Association, and it's what most coffee shops use for their shots of espresso. Any amount of coffee that you have in your pot filter, you multiply it by 2 to get how much water that you're going to add in this coffee to make your shot of espresso. And now it's time for us to extract our shot of espresso, and it's going to lead us to tip number 6. Let's go. We start by flashing our group head. The reason I flash my group head before I start extracting my shot of espresso is to warm up the group head so that we can have the consistency in the temperature. You can touch it, it's now hot. And now I'll insert in my pot filter into the group head. Prepare your weighing scale. We need to weigh our yield out for our shot of espresso. Get your cup, put it below. And tip number 6 is going to be the brew time. The moment you start extraction, you start your time very fast. For a good shot of espresso, it should be in a range of 20 seconds to 30 seconds. Let's see our shot, how it's extracting. On 34, you stop your shot of espresso so that you end up with 36. Yes, we got it. This is our shot of espresso. Look at the creamer. And the key is, we have used all these tips hand in hand to make this shot of espresso. And why is the brew time very important? The brew time is what is going to help us understand what is happening when we are extracting our shot of espresso. If your espresso finishes extracting below 20 seconds, that espresso, we call it an under-extracted shot of espresso, meaning that espresso is flowing very fast. So when your espresso flows very fast, it's not having enough contact time to extract the ideal flavors into your cup of coffee. And if you taste that under-extracted shot of espresso, it's going to taste sour with a high acidic, watery, and unbalanced flavors. These are the common characteristics of an under-extracted shot of espresso. And for you to fix it, you need to go to the coffee grinder, adjust your coffee grinder on a fine grind size so that you can make the particles small. When you make the particles small, you create more resistance, which increases the contact time so that you can be able to dissolve the right flavors into your shot of espresso. But for this shot of espresso that I've made, it finished extracting on 30 seconds. From my experience, 30 seconds is on the edge. And I feel like if you taste it, it's having that after bitterness that I'm getting with this shot of espresso. To fix it, I'm going to be adjusting my dial. After you adjust your coffee grinder, you don't use the first coffee that you grind. So I'll be grinding. The reason we don't use this coffee that we've grinded after adjusting our coffee grinder, this is the coffee that is most of the time stuck in the coffee bars. And this is a common mistake many beginners do, is when they adjust the grind size, they use this coffee. This coffee is going to have 50% of the previous grind size and 50% of the grind size you have adjusted, which is not going to give you the accurate adjustments that you have done with your coffee grinder. I recommend the first coffee that you grind from your coffee grinder after adjusting your grind size, you throw it. Let's grind again so that we can see the exact adjustment that we've increased in our coffee grind size. Now I'm weighing again. I need 18 grams. So I put in, grind my coffee. After grinding, I'll just stamp down. Since I increased on the grind size, also the amount of coffee has increased. So what I'm going to do is to scoop off until I have 18 grams. I'll put it back so that I can tamp it. I'm good to go. And now let's extract our second shot of espresso. Flash again to clean off any coffee particles that might be stuck on the group head, and insert in your pot filter. Get your weighing scale ready. It's key. The moment you start extracting, you start the time. Therefore, you stop your extraction and check how much time it took to extract your shot of espresso. As you can see, now our shot, the adjustment we've made, has given us 24 seconds. You can see on this side, this is 24 seconds that we have had from this shot of espresso. Yes, I think this is going to be a really good shot of espresso. I'm having like that juicy after finish. It's well balanced. It's having a good body. You can even see the creamer. This shot of espresso would be really amazing even when you're making your lattes, flat white, cappuccinos, and even Americano. And a bonus tip, if your espresso machine is not this type with this automatic tamper, then you need these two coffee tools. This is called a coffee tamper. It presses down the coffee, and this is the distribution tool. These two tools are very essential when you're making your shot of espresso. You see the distribution tool? It has grooves on the side. So if I grind my coffee, you can see it's not well leveled in the pot filter basket. So for me to level up my coffee in the pot filter basket, I'm going to be using this distribution tool. And this is what I'm going to do. I put it on top. I just move it around. Now you can see the before and after. Now my coffee is well distributed. I'm going to use this coffee tamper to press down this coffee to create that compact bed, because what we need is the coffee to be compacted. So when the water comes, it's going to go through all the coffee so that it evenly extracts a good shot of espresso. The reason why many of the beginner baristas and home baristas face a challenge of channeling. Channeling is when you see sometimes the espresso comes out from one side while other side is not coming. This means that espresso is having channeling. So the water is maybe finding a weak part on this side, and it's only passing from this part without extracting the flavors in this side. That shot of espresso which had channeling is not going to give you the good flavors because you're not extracting all the flavors. And you can easily spot channeling if you're using a bottomless pot filter, because you'll see the espresso spraying everywhere. That spraying of espresso means that area of coffee you didn't tamp it very well, or you didn't distribute it very well. This is why these two coffee tools are very important if you want to be able to extract a good shot of espresso. By following these 6 barista tips, I'm sure now you have a clear understanding on what has been causing those different challenges in your shot of espresso. And if I have missed out any of the challenge that you're facing, make sure to link it in the comment section below. I'll be checking out in this video. And if you want to use the same coffee tools that I've used in this video, I also have affiliation links in the description below. Whenever you buy something using those links, I get a small commission, and I'll be very grateful for your support. Make sure to leave any questions, something you didn't understand, in the comment section below. I'll be checking it out and answering all your comments. I post barista training videos on a weekly, so stay tuned for the next video. And if you're someone interested in making different coffee drinks using a home espresso machine, I would recommend for you to watch this video next for how to make 13 hot coffees using a basic home espresso machine step by step.